And she was so used to hearing Elmo, like, every single day that she was on set, and just, and she got to, lots of people kind of said, oh, you know what, Chris, you're going to have to do Elmo now. You know?
Oh, no.
Like that. And so I kind of did.
So I did Elmo.
And then like that.
That is scary accurate.
It's
what
very,
the fuck?
It's very strange.
Hey everyone! So for this intro, I'm going to take a leaf out of Zamoody's book, really. And I wanted to check in with myself, really. There's no script for this one, so it may turn into a bit of a Ren Rambles special, but I promise I'll keep it under 10 minutes. I've had some really good things happen to me in a short space of time, but I've also had to carry the weight of a lot of stressful things as well. And that's left its mark on me too. And I find myself in a very strange position. I am stuck feeling like I can neither be happy nor sad, because neither emotion has been given warranted evidence yet. And I have no idea if anyone here listening empathizes with that, but currently in my life there are so many things going on that are currently now out of my control. And I hate that. I hate not being able to have control over at least some semblance of my life. But the thing is, I need to remind myself I've done everything that I can. So what else is there that I can do? And the weirdest way, that also links to voice acting. When you do your audition and you give it your all and you do your best and you send it in, that's it. You've also done everything you can do. A lot of people think that, and myself included, have been told that voice acting is separate to the real world. Because we all have those individuals who say you need to get a real job and everything like that, and it is conditioned in us to use those words. Voice acting is part of the real world. And things that you learn on your voice actor's journey will also apply to your everyday life. No matter your story and no matter your path and where you've come from and everything that you've gone through, that is what makes you you, and that is what makes you uniquely qualified to tell certain stories. Hold on to that. Never let that go. Your story is unique, and your story needs to be heard. And I want to hear your story. Because if everyone could just speak, could tell their stories, the world would be such a less lonely place. And it's why I write. I have 2 books currently going on, and I pour every single part of my story into them even. Both me and Zamoody have that in common, in that we have a lot that we carry, and we use these intros as a way of checking in, reminding ourselves of what we are good at and how far we've come. And Eldurrino, I can say this with some very level of certainty that he is far wiser than his bombastic demeanor would ever give him credit for. I am very lucky to know these 2. I have been counselled, I have been cheered and supported by these 2 more than many other friends that I've had in the past. I am very lucky. And that's why we do Cold Read. We are here to show you that you are good enough to do this. We share our stories here because 1, it's therapeutic for us, and 2, it helps us to feel that 1, we're not alone, and 2, to learn from them and to show you that it can still happen to all of us, and so you don't feel alone either. So my takeaway for this intro is to remind myself that I have wonderful friends, I have support, and I can do this. And to remind you, dear listener, that whatever you're going through, we're here for you too. We're here to help you too. This journey is one we all walk together, we all walk bespokely, and we all want each other to win. We all want people in this industry. We want to build each other up, and we want everyone to succeed. Because it is so individual. So remember, you'll always have support from us. You'll always have a critical ear for anything you want to send us. We are here for you, just as I am here for my co-hosts and they are there for me. We've got you. Chin up, back straight, and keep moving forward. You've got this. We believe in you.
Happy music at the end of that. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Cold Read the podcast for voice actors by voice actors. Intro was by Renara. Very nice. Love the check-in.
I feel like I need like a hot face towel after that therapeutic, calming music.
Very
I felt like I
meditative.
was at a spa.
And now, everybody, please inhale and exhale. Sorry. So, welcome to Cold Read the podcast. Thanks for everybody being here. Fire and Brimstone, welcome. Our daily meme provider. We all absolutely enjoyed it. If you have any questions, any topics you want us to talk about, please email us, coldreadthepodcast@gmail.com, or join our ever-growing Discord. Come on into the community, say hi, hang out with us, ask us questions. If there's anything you need to know, we have an extensive network of people from award-winning actors to producers to everybody. We've all created our booths. We all have all stuff around us. And I love how every time I mention a booth, Renara always does up and then left. And then
I've got a ritual now. It's like booth is set, it must touch the walls.
I see that, yes. But we would love to hear your audio. So either email us or drop it in the Discord. We are very constructive. We love to give feedback, and we want to help you get ahead. We've all done it to each other, and we've all grown because of it. As you just heard, Renara is a good proof of that. So whether you are here live with us while we're recording this on Twitch, or you're watching us on YouTube or anywhere in the podcast, do me a favor, comment down below. We'd love to hear where you're hearing us from, and where did you hear from us in the first place. So give us a little bit. That one little comment helps. If you have an extra chance, give us that like, give us that subscribe. We're approaching that a couple of numbers here that we'd love to see. So everybody's crossing their fingers and working hard on those shorts.
Nearly 100 subscribers. Sorry.
But so let's just do a quick check-in, because I want to get to our guest here, Chris Woodworth. Woodworth, sorry. Let me just go ahead and hand it over to Renara, because I'm super dry. I'll be right back.
So, I mean, I kind of summed it up in the intro a little bit, really, but I am currently waiting. I'm stuck in the waiting portion of the very stressful few months, if that makes sense. So I should hear back on possibly a life-changing opportunity next week, mid-next week, which would be amazing.
Is it the thing you mentioned last week?
Depends. I mentioned a lot of things last week.
In regards to employment.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes, it is.
Just want to make sure, because you said life-changing. That could be really good or really bad. So
true.
Good stuff. Yes, words. Me do words good. Yeah. No.
Indeed.
I think we're all starting on a little hiccup here, so let's go.
But no, I've been plugging away with Skywind as per usual. I've been doing a lot of work in the auditorium with helping voice actors and things like that. I have been plugging it everywhere.
Nice.
Basically, after the Voice Palooza and everything. And yeah, just kind of slowly, again, waiting for scripts from other things, waiting to hear back. So I'm kind of I'm in that sat bit, and I'm doing that thing of, is there anything you want me to do? Can I help with this? Can I help with that? And they're like, no, we're good. So I'm now just sat. I'm like going, thumbs twiddle. But no, I am finding ways to do more stuff. So I'm actually been doing more writing. So I've been working on my books a bit more and a song. So which I will be sending through to certain individuals at some point. But yeah, I've been plodding along with bits and pieces, trying not to be sat twiddling my thumbs all day. But yeah, that is me.
Nice. Well, welcome, Renara. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Dorino, how's your week been?
Why don't you go ahead and do yours first? Because my neighbors are currently screaming at each other, and I don't want that on the recording. So
okay,
please take my spot for the time being.
How's your week been, Zamoody?
Oh, thank you for asking, Renara. I appreciate that. So I had a lovely little Mother's Day, as I mentioned last week. We did go to SeaWorld, which was fun. I'm still, I got a little sunburn, and you know what? Summer's starting to hit down here, so it's getting warm in the room. Voice acting wise, I got shortlisted for a breast cancer commercial, which I got privately invited for. So I'm hoping to hear better news. It's a bilingual one, so I will absolutely take it. So I'm waiting to hear back on that. I've got a directed session in about an hour and 45 with Sunshine to do the energies. We need to do a couple of pickups, and they want to do that live. So it's going to be an interesting experience today. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Other than that, work is busy. What can you say? I had to literally take a day because I've been pulling 10-hour days for about the last month, and it's exhausting. So yeah. So Dorino,
10 hours a day, 5 days a week.
10 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then commute an hour and a half each way.
Oh Christ!
Yeah,
that's miserable.
It is what it is. I like helping people, and that's what I get to do.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So are your neighbors done?
I can't say for certain, but I'm going to use the opportunity while I can.
Carpe diem.
My week was incredibly busy to the point where I'm starting to feel a bit like Renara, and I can't even keep track of all the things that have happened. Mostly, so let me try to think of the important bits. First off, my audio services website is live now, dtsaudio.org. Please, if you need demo reels for your voiceover career, if you need scripts written, if you need music produced, reach out to me, and we will see what we can make happen. So I got that set up. I have also been auditioning for more stuff. Not heard anything back on that, but that was like 2 days ago that I did that stuff. So, however, I have also been scouting more production jobs, and I now have a third podcast that I'm working on.
Oh dear!
So that's pretty cool. Got that under the belt. My fiance graduated her master's program.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank heavens, because that shit sucks. It was. I think she can attest to this, that it was incredibly stressful, and it is now to the point where she has the free time to do whatever she wants, and she's literally like, I think I'm just gonna go watch some TV and go to bed.
It's like, yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I get that. You deserve that rest, much needed.
Yeah.
So we had the graduation yesterday, which was very fun. Got a very funny video where they announced her name, and her brother yelled out, "That's my sister!" And then I yelled out immediately after, "That's my fiance!" And then everyone started laughing.
Nice.
It was pretty good.
So I need to see that later, but okay.
I'll send it to you later. I just have to pull it off my phone. What else happened this week? No, I think that's it. Really,
that's it.
Just working, trying to find more work. Yep, that's it.
Okay, so I let me see if this is still what I think it is. Oh, sorry, McMegs. Eldurrino asked me to say, have you finished your homework? If you have, if you haven't, go do it. I can't play it anymore, so I figured I'd do it one more time in your honor.
Thanks for the send off.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Well, very cool. And again, definitely congratulations. It's a long journey. I know my wife's going through something similar. So the end is far and the work is hard, but Yeah, definitely deserved watching TV and resting. So glad to hear. We got no cameras. Darn it. Did I tab over? I did.
What did you do?
Yeah, there it is. It's back.
Whoopsie.
No, well, it's just because I was throwing in that. I wanted to throw in a surprise. That's fine. This is fine. So
Okay.
our guest, I do want to double check. So Chris Woodworth, how was your week this particular week?
Wow. I gotta try not to be distracted because I'm just imagining like what the screaming match is. It's your end, by the way. But
You don't want to know. It is not pleasant.
Yeah, it's like, did you eat my last taffy? I don't know. I had a good week. Yeah, very busy week, very productive week because my full-time job and this voice acting I do like on the side. I mean, yeah, it's just like randomly I do auditions like of my lunch break or evenings, and what else? On more of a personal note, I think my fiance and I actually started watching a new Netflix series, Muted, as well, which is quite intriguing. Yeah, Muted, and so that's something that it will be difficult to binge because we're both so busy, but we're going to keep up with that. And I did watch the final Halloween movie finally as well. On top of
That's funny. I recently watched that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just needed it to really be. Wow, they go all out. Wow. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's like I've already watched the other two. I may as well put this one on. I haven't heard the best, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
I mean, it. Yeah, if nothing else, one or two images just really do stick out. But it's like, come on, I've seen all of them. I got to finish this now. I got to finish it, So, so I kind of got that out of my system. But if nothing else, I actually have taken part in just a couple of different interviews talking about, well, we're just geeking out about voice acting as well. Podcasts and things like that. And as I mentioned to you just earlier as well, when we talked, yesterday I had the pleasure of talking at a voiceover bootcamp, which was taking place in Nigeria. And originally I thought that it was going to be like about 30, 40 minutes like interview. Or something like that. But no, I think it was the day before I kind of learned, you can just basically give a talk for about half an hour about the social media and, what you do with your voice and just how you look after your voice and everything. So it's like, okay, right. So I've got to put down bullet points tonight. I'm going to do this. And leave about 15 to 20 minutes or whatever, I don't know, just of a Q&A. And so, my crazy self was just very random at times.
Nice.
But, it was nice to do that and just get very specific even about, like, networking with people, in a decent way, just to be a good person when you're doing this.
It's funny how that works out sometimes, right?
Exactly, yeah. And not making your first message, hey, which I'm sure lots of us have had before, that I just tighten up all over, or it's like, hey, bro, what's up, dog? I get messages like that. There's no question, there's no substance, or anything. But no, it was really good. I was glad it reached them. They had really good questions, and they have now connected to me on social media.
Nice.
So it feels like my Nigerian voice actor, buddies are now following me as well. So it feels like different countries.
Contacts are contacts.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
So I'm super curious. How did you get started in the whole voice acting thing?
Oh, quite like a lot of people. It kind of started spiraling, I'd say, during lockdown when, here in the UK, when COVID became a thing. And so Beryl was already working full-time as an animator, and I'd spent many years working on the Lego video games, but now I had to transition to working from my own living room. I was literally finishing working on Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, animating the cinematic, sections of that game. Yeah, some of them anyway. And It was a difficult time naturally. I was apart from my now fiance. We couldn't see each other for 13 weeks. I discovered TikTok. I was doing lots of different kind of comedy skits and things like that, and trends, and just being creative, getting myself by. And my partner, Kirsty, her name is, she said, "You know what? I see you're doing a lot of content now. I love it when you do your impressions because I always grew up doing different voices and things like that." And she said, "You should actually do videos where you're revoicing like a scene from one of those animated movies like Shrek, and you're doing all the voices." And so I started doing things like that, and they were taking off. And I then started considering, wow, because I'm doing acting challenges as well, is it possible for me to do voice acting on the side? And so, I got permission from the studio I worked for. Well, I worked for anyway, and now work for a new studio. And I basically took a couple of acting courses to start with, Zoom group courses, group classes with City Academy that's based in London. And so, that gave me an edge really because I wanted to pick up the acting skills again. So I did beginners, I did like intermediate, and then I was ready to, I felt ready to really interact with more voice actors. I used Clubhouse, the free audio networking app.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is great. I still use it today. I shortly after joining that app, I found myself on this like digital stage, like with a whole bunch of people. But I was next to, I can't remember her name now, Deborah or something. But yeah, this voice actor who voices the character Smarty on Sesame Street, who is Elmo's best friend. And she was so used to hearing Elmo like every single day that she was on set, and just and she got to lots of people kind of said, "Oh, you know what, Chris, you're gonna have to do Elmo now." You know?
Oh no.
Like that. And so I kind of did.
So I did Elmo.
And then like that.
That is scary accurate.
It's
what
very,
the fuck?
it's very strange. I found out like initially because I think I saw the original guy who did the voice of Elmo, and I saw him in interviews. I got hooked on those videos. I saw a comedian do an impression of Elmo. It's like, okay, is it back in the throat or something? And got into a silly mood. And he said he likes to do Elmo for like his nephew, I think this comedian said. And so he said he likes to go to the side of the crib, and he just kind of goes like,
"Hi, baby. Elmo came to see you. Elmo loves baby too. Elmo loves you too."
Oh my God.
Like that. And that kind of voice and that genuine, like, I don't know, gleefulness just seems to make people melt. This innocence.
I mean, it's worked for us.
Just based on our faces, I think. Yeah, because
there you go.
I mean, so
I've got to do Elmo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say that I've heard Elmo. People were the people who've done Elmo, but they would swear and they would do evil Elmo. I can't do that. I can't do that.
There is one on
respect
TikTok
Elmo.
running around.
Elmo is far too innocent. No, you can't.
No. So I get to say thank you at least because I did spend a lot of time in the Lego games with my kids. So I'm sure we played one that you worked on, and we had so much fun with those.
You have a couple of names you can throw out to me, like games
no, we did the original trilogies from back in the day. We were big fans of playing the Lego games, so I'm sure we got one or another one. So thank you in advance for that. Now going into your About Me, you did mention that you can go as high as Elmo, but as low as Groot. So you've already done the Elmo. Can we hear the Groot?
That came. If I strain to Groot, something like, "I am Groot." Yeah.
Like nice. Okay.
Good Lord.
So from that, how that kind of worked was way back when I was studying animation at university, and it's one of many times I was in a silly mood and just doing voices, went around friends. We used to kind of just do fancy dress for Halloween, and for some reason, it was around that time when I was just on my computer playing with a recording program and having fun playing with like the reverb on it and everything. And, I found myself discovering the reverb, just different settings, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to put that on a scary voice? And I don't know how I did it. I just kind of spoke from the stomach, and I just kind of I did something like "Happy Halloween." You know, like that, and just let it reverb in a way. Yeah. And so I found that later in life, when characters like Groot, you know, came onto the screen, you know, and also Caesar from Planet of the Apes as well, but that's a bit different, you know, in the mouth placement, the lips, and the breath, and you have to do the scowl. You know, I found that I could actually, you know, do that. You know, kind of like consider this mercy. Wow, together, strong. You know, like that. Yeah, and so for some reason, I can just kind of do that if I talk from down here. Or I could use it to kind of imitate one of my former voice tutors. I think he did masterclasses with me, workshops with me. His name's Marcella Chapard, the man of the voice. And he kind of talks in a low, smooth, sexy kind of way. Yeah, baby. You know, like that. So have you been doing impressions for most of your life, or is that kind of like where that interest came from, or? I think so, yeah. I would say I've been doing it since maybe I was a teenager. Things I grew up watching, I was always hooked on movies and TV shows. I had a lot of inspiration even from Robin Williams and people. And, just how he can be wacky but heartfelt, and just the vocal dexterity that he had, the ear that he had, and just the fact that he wouldn't really seem to pause much when he would go into them. It would just happen, you know, as well. And at times I'm still working at that. Yes, it was a quirk that I had. I was the guy just randomly doing voices, but then it came to lockdown. It's like, oh, I can do something with this. Yes, absolutely. So
has this been? I was going to jump in and say So you said you started really deep diving it into voice acting at around lockdown, but going through school, were you? Was this ever the main trajectory? I know you ended up in animation, but was the creative? Because I know my trajectory ended up changing several times as I was growing up, and I was wondering how has your path been since through schooling and out, if that makes sense.
Right. Okay. Let's see. I consider myself to be one of the lucky ones, meaning that back at school, I knew what I wanted to do full time from an early age, and it wasn't like necessarily voice acting, but I discovered the art of animation quite early on. You know, like before I was like, you know, just going into like GCSEs or college, you'd say, I guess. I discovered that animation combined all these different things that I loved to do. I was very creative. I drew a lot and things like that. And so from an early age, that was something I stuck to. It was a path I stuck to. So I took the different subjects that would aid it, that would lead me there. Like there was theatre studies because I did have the interest in the acting side of things, which is a big part of voice acting. You know? And also the art side of things, or the drawing and people studying things like that. Just generally, it just became something that just really came together, you know, for me to start studying animation, like university. I actually did a couple of bits of voice acting at university as well. Oh, yeah. For one character, I animated as part of like a final short film that I'd hand drawn and everything. And where it was basically my voice, but just a bit more of a slightly different accent, a lower tone. You know, it took place in Malawi, where I was born. And also when I did my master's in computer animation, because I realized that's where it's going, and games seem to be like, just really expanding, like getting better and better, and so I'll go into that. There were a couple of people who were doing like maybe group projects. So they would approach me to ask me to voice characters. And in one project, I got to voice both of their characters in a short animation, that were inanimate objects.
Okay.
And that was so crazy. That was so much fun. Not speaking words, but expressing so much emotion and being wacky in the studio and everything. And there was another one where I wasn't required to do the voice, but they wanted me to do mocap.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. And what it was, the idea of it was a duo, like these superheroes that are very simple-minded, not the brightest, not the brightest bunch at all. They are interrogating this villain that they've captured. He's kind of like handcuffed down to the chair, and they want to use this torture device to try and get these answers out of him. Like, where are you hiding the rocket? And they don't know how properly to use this torture device, so they're arguing and pressing all these different buttons.
Oh no!
So and everything. And so not only did I get to do the mocap acting for the villain in the chair, and it was funny because they were calling out these random like torture acts or something.
Like you're getting electrocuted and you're sitting there going like, ah.
Yeah, and I would have to act like straight away, So 1 minute is kind of like wet fish, and I'd actually got them to. I got them to tape my wrist down to the chair, and they said when he'd say wet fish, I literally just went bang like that, like to the side, like when I'm in the chair. They say electric shock, and I just literally go ape, like that. And what was it? Oh yeah, head inflating and then deflating. However you do that.
Okay.
Yeah. But aside from him, I did the very dumb sidekick as well. And they finished the animation and they called it The Incapables.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Would you say going through all of these
Nice.
different did all of these experiences? Would you say because we always say you can't just sort of sit statically behind the mic. Acting out always helps to convey character. Looking back, would you say the domino effect of being able to do all of those things, would you say they've influenced your choice to go into voice acting perhaps or not?
Definitely. Yeah. Yes. It definitely played a part because like with animation anyway, when I've been like an animator full time for over 15 years now.
Wow.
Nice, good on you.
This is the new company that I've just started working at. It's my third company I've started working for. And like a lot of the times now when I animate characters, I animate a scene, I animate like a very particular emotion or something like that. Quite often I find that my best work comes out when I film myself for reference, acting out what I want the character to do, where I actually get physical. And it's it really does complement in a way the work that I do, as well. So it just really adds to the voice acting, in the best possible way, because obviously, like when I'm doing a narration or something like that, and I'm just sat down, as you can see, like sometimes even talking right now, I randomly do this. I'm using my hands.
Thank you.
And Kirsty always points it out. It's kind of like, you're doing this on your video, like that. Or any interview, you're just kind of doing that. I played it on fast forward. It's funny.
We're casting magic as we talk. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But when it comes to animated characters, and I feel like I'm not quite getting the momentum, or I can't quite get the depth, or that character, I want to put more effort sounds in, then I adjust. I literally take my boom arm just further up, wheel this chair back, and I stand up, like that. and I start to do like the running kind of movements, or something like that. And I literally have to, do all of that and everything. And yeah, it definitely helps. Mm.
Well, I was going to get into your equipment real quick, but I do notice, obviously, for those of us listening via the podcast, you can't see Chris. He's sitting right now in a very, very well treated long space. I can see that maybe lengthwise it's not too, but you've got a good amount of room.
Covered under the stairs.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that obviously Renara just said, yeah. So you're basically in the cupboard under the stairs. When did this come into play? Was this very early into your journey?
Oh, well, this actual studio that you can see right here, on the video, and everyone can see this. It was the plan. Like when we were moving into this house. This is the first house I've ever bought, and so we've been here for probably about a year and a half. Yeah, and so before this, when I was living in an apartment and I was putting my own voice kind of booth together, it was very makeshift. I got like this Rode NT1A mic, kind of secondhand. I had a Focusrite Solo and things like that. I just kind of pieced things together, and that was like in the pillow and blanket fort that worked. That put together.
It does, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic what you can do with it. You don't have to spend loads. I mean, people who do it in cupboards, it works, go in your closet. But when we had picked this house out, I saw they had this storage space like under the stairs, and this house was being built. And I adamantly said that there's no discussion for this. This needs to be my booth.
You're putting down the flag immediately. Mine.
Yeah. And I said, but what if we need to like store anything, in particular? And I said, look, this is what I've got planned for it. And anything, that you really want to put there, it can literally go under the table, or something like that. That can actually be really good because there's actually quite a bit of space, as well. And and so. I said that there are other ways, of just kind of working storage in and around, the house. I think you get to that grown-up stage where with storage, it really excites you. Yeah, the form of storage, right? Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I really got to work at, putting up like these different acoustic panels and just constantly testing and tweaking things along the way. I think there were one or two very special acoustic panels, that dampen things more, and bass traps that I put like in the area just around the mic because it's a kind of a small space, and I wanted to get rid of any kind of slight echo. So I'd keep making adjustments. I would start doing auditions. And then I had to be honest with myself. There's something not quite right. I talked to one of my good friends, who's a veteran voice actor, and he said, "Yeah, it's sounding unusually bassy, and I can't quite tell." And I spoke to about 2 or 3 different like audio engineers as well. At least 1 or 2 of them he recommended. They just wanted to hear it. So nobody was charging me yet for it or anything.
Yeah.
In case anybody's wondering, these are bass straps. They kind of go up in the corner.
Yes.
Thank you. I was a bit confused, but hey.
Yeah, I have like 4 of those just in the corner, just up here, so it's good. But you know what the issue was? The microphone was back to front.
Oh my god!
Oh no! And I had no idea that was a thing originally with the Rode NT1A. So there is a little like gold disc on the front. Oh, it's magical. Okay, I just noticed. All right, and you have to learn things the most embarrassing way ever, But it sounded much better once I swiveled it.
I bet. Yeah.
That was fun to learn.
Yeah. Well, that I'm sure that's one of the bumps in the road that you went. But out of curiosity, because was your animator gig helping you in, say, the audition part of it? Did you have a foothold of where to go, or how did you start auditioning for parts?
I wouldn't really say it gave me a foothold in where to go, because, yeah, here's the thing. I needed to keep this when I started. After I got permission to go into voice acting, I kind of felt like I really needed to keep this separate. I didn't want, because I didn't want to, start to slacken my duties or have them worry about certain crossovers
Gotcha.
as well with people they work with and stuff like that. Where I went for auditions, I guess, there were times I did go to where I tried out like pay to play sites, but also there were actual like Facebook groups as well that I was a part of. Yeah, as well. Because all the while, these social media videos were continuing at the same time in order for me to experiment and get the creativity out. And because, by the way, when I started doing like voice acting collaboration videos where I developed this thing where I would link up with another voice actor and we would record separately to revoice a scene.
Right.
From like
sure.
an animated movie. And because that grew and grew, and some other people started doing it as well, there were one or two people in particular who've done like truly incredible things, like in the industry that I got to work with. And one of them actually, his voice appears in the Pixar movie Turning Red. I got to collaborate with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a guy
Nice.
called Topher Ingo. And he is actually, if you've seen that movie, there is a boy band in there. I think it's Four Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he is actually one of the singers of that boy band, Pixar's first boy band. And he actually, and I think it was like towards the end of like an interview, on Clubhouse, because I was listening to it, I got to ask him a question, about social media, and because it was an incredible story. I learned that he got that role through a Facebook group.
Really? Wow.
Really? This is the first time we've really heard people, at least please remind me, boys, if this is the first time, but for me, this is the first time we've heard success via Facebook, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've had people talk about like LinkedIn and Twitter and stuff. So how is the process, how would you say, is the process any different on Facebook than it is to Twitter, perhaps? Like how does one navigate Facebook in this industry?
Well, with Facebook, definitely you just you need to just definitely stand your ground. That's where it just kind of feels a bit difficult, because there are quite a few people who put up casting calls from different countries where they are offering next to nothing. Basically, if they put the price up, or they're unbelievably vague, and they just kind of say that need male voice actor. That's it. It's like for what? Is it narration? Is it animation? A lot of people put that in the comments. Topher, he actually responded to a casting call in one of the groups on there that said need a singer for an animated film. Yeah, an animated feature film. Yeah. That was all.
That was all you got. Yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't like specific about it, but they didn't have like. I don't think he mentioned that they put like a price down or anything like that. But because he was already doing a lot of that on social media, he cut together just some audio or some of his best covers, that he did, and he sent that in, and. Then he heard quite a long time later, he'd almost forgotten about it, that they really liked your audition. Just to let you know, it's for a Disney Pixar movie, as well. Wow. And someone's going to be in touch. And so a long time later, they did say, all right, there was a message saying that it's looking good. It says, looking good? Oh, that audition! And he said, you're going to get a call. And he actually got a call from the head of the music department at Disney.
Crap. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And who sent him this email with these test tracks, these samples, and these songs that were basically written by Billie Eilish. Those songs were written by Billie Eilish. And so, so eventually he got flown out, to record with the others.
Wow.
As well.
Facebook.
And,
that blows my mind just ever so, just a little bit. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? To be honest, I didn't get anywhere near to something like that, but I actually did get a gig through a Facebook group because I responded to somebody putting up a post saying need a British voice actor for narration, quick turnaround, and they because they heard my narration after I reached out to them, they heard my narration demo on my website. They said that we feel that you could be a good fit for this, and what they were offering me, it was kind of pennies, really. So I kind of stood my ground because I said I thought in my head I would be a bit happier if they kind of doubled this. As well. So because it wouldn't be quite there, but it would be better, and I would accept that. So I said that I'm sorry, what you're offering is not even half of what I'd usually make for something like this, but if you do insist on paying a voice actor that much to do this amount of words, this narration, I recommend you go for a less experienced voice actor. Yeah. Sure. So I said that, and then she got back to me and said, if we did double this, where would you do it? And I said, yeah, as long as the words doesn't increase beyond this. Right. And she got back to me the next day, and I did the gig for her.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that was through Facebook as well. You just join every voice acting Facebook group and just...
I know my task for after today's podcast. Go and join absolutely every voice acting Facebook group there is.
Just a quick reminder that
Cold Read the
Podcast has a Facebook group as well that you can
do.
Join.
Oh, right.
We have a Facebook group.
There you go.
There
you go. Yeah, but Twitter's good, as well. Twitter's good. You're just keeping an eye out for casting calls and things like that as well. And but as of the start of this year, I now have 2 agencies, and so I get my auditions through them. Yeah.
Did I just hear 2 agencies?
Yeah. The start of this year was very overwhelming. The crazy, wonderful things that happened all in a short space of time. Just leaving my job of over 15 years to start working at a new company. But in between that, getting engaged, and I ended up because I'd spoken with somebody through Clubhouse. I found out that she works for an entertainment management company, and she was starting up things on her own as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, do you take voice actors? Do you manage any voice actors? And said that's somewhere we're looking to go. And I had a Zoom meeting with her, and she actually had an agent friend with her as well. And so, after quite a lengthy chat, I came out of it with a manager and an agency in LA. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Shortly after, a friend of mine reached out and said that one of my agencies is looking to expand because she's based in New York, and said, "Should you want me to send over maybe your details? Your website. Do you have a commercial demo?" I said, "I got a commercial demo in the making, but send my details over." Yeah, she said, "You never know what can happen." They got back to me shortly after. It was that day. Really that same day, asking if they could have a meeting with me the following week. And again, I was faced with 2 people, one from the animation side of things, one from the commercial and narration side of things. And I was described a little bit of a vocal freak, basically, in a good way.
Nice.
And so
hopefully in a positive way.
Question?
Yeah. In a good way. But so I ended up with another agency, and I was like, if all of these things have happened at the start of the year, then some bad things are coming. I'm just going to try and enjoy them.
I think that's quite a British way of thinking of things, actually.
Yeah, so I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
How often does this happen, this stuff? So, and that's what you got to do. You got to take the, no matter how big or small they are, take the wins.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy. We've already been talking for over 50 minutes, and this just goes so quick. So I want to punch a couple more things before we call it. Obviously, you doing impressions is a big thing of what you do. At least you'll have a lot of fun with it. What advice do you have somebody trying to come up with a new impression?
Oh, okay. Really developing a good ear as well. You need to learn the different aspects of that, not just the impression and voice, but that personality, I'd say. What really helps me, for instance, like you heard me do Elmo earlier, I think of over time I got to know that he is that character who embodies love. He's like a 3-year-old monster who just laughs too much. He wants everyone to be okay. He likes to joke around. He's very infectious and yet heartfelt as well. It's somebody that you just really want to just hang out with. He's that comfort that you need. And so at times I've improvised, as him, as well, just to make somebody feel better. And or to wish somebody happy birthday, or something like that. You come to know the things like he would say, or like chocolate, and I'll say it's my normal voice, but it's like even though chocolate and cookies are a sometime food, you can eat all the cake you want because it's your birthday. He would say something like that. That's the thing. It is just like voice acting in general. It is more than just about the voice. I find it really, very important for me to really become the character. That person or that character I'm impersonating. So I adopt their posture as well. And because if I don't do that and I don't really pick up the same mannerisms as they do, they have, I don't really if I don't use my hands the same way they do, or something like that, the voice won't properly come out, and like an example, I'll tell you a funny little story though. I was talking in a live room, like a digital room, with a few voice actors. They were playing a game with all these other voice actors. Was it 2 Truths and 1 Lie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said to everybody, you can do it as yourself or you can do it as a voice. So everyone's doing it and we're kind of like trying to pick what the lie was, and it was quite fun. And then it came to me and I said, hey, didn't you say at the start we could do it as a character, or something? And so they said, yeah, just feel free to go for it, So, and I was sat on my couch just kind of talking into my phone and turning my mic down for this. I literally kind of went, hello! This is Gilbert Godfrey, and here are my 2 truths, 1 lie. Okay, truth? Right, no, what? Number 1. Okay, I gave my fiance bunny ears and said, here, toots, wear this. Number 2, I used to be a close-up magician. And number 3, I still have a strong attraction to Lola Bunny from Space Jam. Like that. And so that was basically it. And and so that's the thing. If you, those of you who actually see me do that, I can't help but squint my eyes.
I saw that.
I'm using my hand,
and
I really pronounce each word, like fully, like that.
Yeah. And
Gilbert Godfrey is one of those, R.I.P. Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah.
Such an influence. He became just one of the easiest people to improvise when impersonating, because you just say shit.
Yes, 100%.
And it works.
Yeah.
But that's what I do. You pick up some of their traits. You don't mock or anything.
No.
You just literally try and be authentically them. That's what I would say.
I like that.
I'm learning so much. It's so cool.
Has the impressionism helped you out with accents? Because I know Dorino's dying to ask you about an accent. But
Yes.
has that kind of helped you like get that ball rolling? I'm terrible at accents. I've always said I can't even do a Hispanic accent, and I'm Mexican, so I'm just that bad.
Yeah, there are different accents that I'd love to learn, properly. But I would say yes. There are different impressions that have definitely helped me with accents. If a certain accent is needed, I know like maybe what character or actor to harness, as well. Maybe if you quite often, if they needed me to be like more of an intimidating character and decide to still stay British or something like that, we have a TV show here in the UK, EastEnders. Something like that, where I could go just a little bit more London Cockney, a little more like a character like Phil Mitchell or Grant Mitchell, where something like that. Yeah, what are you looking at? Something like that, now, where I adapt something like that, but maybe one of the things that kind of helped with I guess I call the general American accents, but one or two people have told me it's a little bit more Midwestern. Is like maybe at times if I needed to play like the American like a teenager or maybe like the young hero or something like that, because after a while it will kind of come out of me, like that, and so I could use that accent and just really kind of push it out. That can be kind of awesome after a while and say like, hey, look, we are not going to stop putting up a fight. They're trying to get to us right now. Like that, something like that, and just heighten the voice, something. Yeah. And, in that kind of way. If I need to be somebody more laid back, American, then hey, I can go more California, man, kind of, everything's chill, just hit some waves, like that, or if I need to be, again, more intimidating American, then one of my go-tos, it's more New York, hey, what you gonna do? Give me a cup of coffee, like that, or something. And I think one of the recent challenges was auditioning for a character that needed to have a New Zealand accent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're all sat here enjoying the show of all these different accents.
Well, what I will tell you, because I know I could go on, on for it, but the how I troubleshooted the New Zealand accents, I had two characters in this audition video game, and obviously I could choose to do them or not, and they said that if you don't feel confident in either of them, just leave it. And I was looking. The first one was German, and even though I'm in meetings every day of my full-time job with people who are German, I don't feel confident yet, that I can pull that off. And so I left that one, and I saw the second one. It's like New Zealand. Okay, Australian is maybe, if I kind of take like London Cockney and make it more rounded, change the pronunciation, and I can sort of get Australian. But what's the difference between Australian and New Zealand? So I looked up a YouTube video.
Okay.
And there was, an American actress who said that she actually lived in New Zealand for a few years. And she was doing the accent while she was explaining it. I learned that Kiwi is actually a bird, and that New Zealanders, like maybe if they order a coffee, there are lots of little good, pleasantries, here and there and everything. And so maybe like if an Australian was asking you to, pass the tea, or something like that. Like British would say like, hey, pass the tea, something like that. An Australian would just kind of go, oh, pass the tea, like that. Or, but then with New Zealand, it's kind of like, they would kind of do something like, it's like, hey, mate, hey, pass the tea.
Felicity.
Like that. It's a bit more
Yeah.
chipper, higher, like that and everything. And
Wow.
and so I did that. I just went for it once I picked up this habit. And very quickly, my agent got back to me with an exclamation mark saying, "It's good to know you can do a convincing New Zealand accent."
There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Last couple questions. I've been hogging this one, so you feel free, co-host, if you have
what
some.
the heck, Zamoody? Okay, so I pegged your accent there as somewhere in Ohio, which I guess technically is part of the Midwest, quote unquote. But I have a phrase that I just quickly wrote up that I want to have you read off.
Oh dear.
And we'll see if it changes at all. So I just direct messaged you.
Okay.
See what happens here.
Technical intermission.
I love how you always wave your hands and keep in mind that most of our audience is listening to it.
I'm going to put the
That's why I
sound
did
of
the
a
Mario
monkey
theme tune, guys.
here.
Okay.
Right. So you. Okay. I'm still figuring out like this whole system. So I'm gonna have to try and find like direct messages.
Sorry.
Let's see. Okay. Right. Got it. Okay. So you want me to say this? Yeah. Yeah. Read this.
Try to whatever accent you feel is appropriate. Like your general American accent, I guess, is what you consider Midwestern. So
Yeah. Okay. Right. So oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Say, is a bubbler over there working or no? Ah, geez, Louise. For Pete's sake. You've left this pop can here? For shame.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
Very much more towards the East Coast. You can definitely kind of hear the more New England accent in there, or I guess Hasidic maybe. I don't know what the proper term is for that accent, but yeah, very, very New England. The way I would say it, because I'm from Minnesota, is oh, sorry, didn't see you there. Say, is the bubbler over there working or no? Oh, geez, Louise, for Pete's sake, who left this pop can here? For shame.
Nice.
That's very good. That's very good. Yeah, I like that because I don't know. I could sort of slightly hear it in my head when I was reading it, but I didn't really feel like it would come out the same way because I haven't fully done that myself. So I stuck to the general American accent. But but that makes sense. It's good.
I put a lot of it in the nose and in the teeth, as if you couldn't tell.
Kind of nasally.
Because like even just saying, oh geez, Louise, like that's all in the front of the mouth.
Oh
so.
geez, Louise.
I've just realized that Eldurrino is our GeoGuessr for voices.
Yes, this will be a new thing.
Fun.
That would be amazing.
I would probably be terrible at it, to be honest, but it could be fun. Just to watch me, be wrong.
Yeah.
I watch the YouTube comments just go.
Question I love to ask, Chris. If you were able to go back at the very beginning of your journey and talk to yourself, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say, don't sacrifice the acting, just for the voice, because at times I inadvertently found that I was doing that. Even the last voice teacher that I recently had, I knew I needed something to change, and something wasn't quite right. I needed the no BS person, and that was Angela Malhotra, who was based in LA, and it's just the importance of I guess accepting you and your own voice, as well. I just kind of wish I knew that just earlier on, than I discovered it, like that. that I don't really have to change
Oh, no.
like my natural
Oh,
voice in
no.
order to be
Oh,
acceptable.
what an image to crash on.
So,
For those of you that are listening, unfortunately, we may have lost Chris here for just a moment.
No.
oh no!
Yeah.
This will
Really?
probably
Oh.
be cut out, but it looks like he might.
he
There
might
we
be
go.
back.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're
Oh
good.
my goodness! Oh,
All right,
so
cool.
sorry about that. Yeah.
No
okay.
worries, no worries.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. I don't know what happened there.
fine.
Right.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying is that I generally wish I just knew just a bit earlier that you have to really accept yourself. You don't have to like fully change your voice, in order to be accepted, like in this voice acting community. You don't really need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You just need to just be authentically you. And I did learn that. I just wish I learned that earlier.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I was, yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
Mhm.
Co-hosts, final question.
No.
No.
Thank
do
you for the
that.
pause.
Well, I do have a question, but it's more a question I'd like to ask after, if that makes sense.
Oh.
I know it's weird. I know, but it's more to do with logistics and business stuff. So,
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had like 3 other questions for you, but unfortunately we are running short on time.
Mhm.
So I will just
Sorry.
ask the most important question of the entire interview. So get
Yes.
ready. What is your favorite
Absolutely.
pizza topping?
Pizza topping. I would say ham.
Hey, I don't know.
All
Have we
right.
had
Ham is
ham?
good.
Have we
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
ham?
mhm. Yeah.
I don't know if we've had ham before. All right.
I don't know.
That's a
Not on
great.
its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it had spinach with it, even better. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that sounds nice. Yeah,
you ruined it. Come
Yeah. Team UK, I'm okay with. I'll be on your side, Chris. It's fine.
I could have said pineapple and you said I ruined it. What?
I love pineapple on
pineapple.
pizza, and I will
It's
fight you
blasphemy
to
to
the death
Italians.
for that.
Okay, let us not start another war. Let's move that aside.
Well, on that note, let's go ahead and close things up. Chris Woodworth, thank you so much. What a wonderful journey you've had. I can't wait to hear more from your stuff. Also, I saw that you did stuff for Lego Dimensions, and yeah, that's one that we did spend a lot of time on and spend a lot of money on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
Yeah. If you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, anybody you want us to talk to, please let us know. You can email us at ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. You can join our Discord. There's going to be a link in the description. If you have any audio, we would love to listen to it. We have done this before. We always give good, constructive feedback. We don't hold back, but we don't try to hurt anybody's feelings. So if you're trying something, if you have a demo, if you have a character you're working on, just go ahead and email us. We'd love to hear from it. I will also note, I didn't hear that anybody claimed for the password last week for the $20 off of Eldurrino's. So this week's $20 off is going to be Renara has a Patreon, all one word, all together. As long as you say that and you put it on there, I will pay for $20 of any services that you do with Eldurrino. So with all that in, thank you again for giving us your time. Wonderful. I could talk to you for at least another hour. I know you're super busy, so we're going to let you go. Next week intro is...
I think it's me, and I actually won't even be here next episode.
Yeah.
So I will certainly have that done. But next week we are going to be talking with Seth Jones, who is he's done a lot of on-camera acting, as far as I'm aware, and is kind of just starting into voice acting. So should make for a good time.
Okay. Last couple things. Let's do some quick affirmations for those of people that are listening. I will start, and I will say, don't be afraid to reflect on your journey. Keep in mind that it's a long one. If you fall, get back up. Next. Eldurrino? Oh,
I could say, by
Go
the
for
way,
it. Yes.
as you have the wizard hat on.
Yes.
In the words of Gandalf the Grey, remember, it is important what you do with the time you have left.
Yes. Thank
I
you.
love it.
I will follow that up with stop making excuses for yourself. Get out there and do the thing and put it out there in the world.
Nice. Renara?
start as you mean to go on and put the grade. The end goal is not the important part. It's the work ethic that you develop as you go, because you won't always do this for free. Start out as that, but if you work as you mean to go on, you'll get there.
All right, everybody.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Catch you all next time. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
Drink water.
There it is.